We are journeying into the country of Ethiopia for this episode. It's a country located on the Horn of Africa in the east. Now, we've spoken about Ethiopia before, but we are finally introducing it as part of our 10 Facts video series. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Leroy Kenton, and this is an episode that many of you have been asking us to do for a while, especially those of you who kind of recently subscribed to the channel. You also have been asking for us to do more videos about Africa, so here it is. We're jumping into facts about Ethiopia. Starting at fact number 10, let's look at the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, as it's officially known as. It's a landlocked country on what is called the Horn of Africa, and its capital city is Addis Ababa. When you go to Ethiopia, you'll see green hills and mountains that surround mostly rural agricultural communities, as well as you'll see Ethiopia's Lake Tana, which is the source of the Blue Nile. It has a very rich Christian tradition also infused into the country. With 114.9 million people at the time of filming this episode, Ethiopia is one of the most highly populated countries in all of Africa. You see, it's second only to the country of Nigeria. Now, the next thing to talk about is Ethiopians believe that the Ark of the Covenant, which is a legendary relic that is said to hold the 10 Commandments, is actually inside of a church in Ethiopia. Only one specially chosen guardian has access to this Ark, and even he is not allowed to look at it to confirm that it actually is there. For those of you who are not familiar with the religious implications of the Ark of the Covenant, it was very instrumental to ancient Israel. Creation and the significance of the Ark of the Covenant is all documented in the Old Testament of the Bible. Now, the next thing to note is that Ethiopia is Africa's oldest independent country. Ethiopia is the only African country that has never been colonized. That's a pretty amazing accomplishment because you see, the Italians, they actually tried to colonize Ethiopia in 1935, and they succeeded in militarily occupying Ethiopia for 6 years. But Ethiopian forces were fighting the whole time, and the entire country was never fully brought under control. Ethiopians, yeah, they're resilient, they do not give up. So some Ethiopians to this day even jokingly say this: we waited until they had built us railways and nice buildings and then kicked them out. All in reference to the Italians that tried to colonize the country. From there, let's move on to fact number 7. On top of being Africa's oldest independent country, Ethiopia is one of the world's oldest countries. Period. Throughout history, its exact borders also have changed though. But you see, the present territory that we now know as Ethiopia was consolidated during the 19th and 20th centuries as European nations encroached on Ethiopia's historical territory. Now, this next one is a very fascinating, interesting fact. Several archaeological findings in Ethiopia's Afar region suggest that the country may be where human life actually started from. So going back to the year 1972, a man by the name of Donald Johanson, as well as Tim D. White, discovered Lucy. And Lucy is a hominid skeleton who was dated by scientists to be 3.2 million years old. Then also Ardi, also from the Afar region, was discovered and was dated to be 4.4 million years old. So these and several other archaeological findings lead people to believe that yes, Ethiopia was the center of where it all began when it came to human life. So guys, we took a look at 5 facts about Ethiopia so far. We got 5 more to go. Now, if you're enjoying this episode so far, be sure to leave a like. And also, if this is your first time here to FTD Facts, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell. We're on our road to 1 million subscribers, so help us on our journey, as well as you get to learn about our world, the different countries, cultures, people, and religion every single day. So definitely, I don't want you to miss any of our episodes coming up. But with that said, let's move on to fact number 5. Let's talk about Ethiopian cooking and foods and all that good stuff. You see, Ethiopian cooking is some of the tastiest and healthiest food out there. Now, I love Ethiopian food, by the way. And I know I've mentioned this before, I think in a video, that I like injera. It's like a soft, flat bread that you can like rip and dip into different things. And unlike many other African countries though, Ethiopian is very vegetarian friendly. That's one reason why I like the food. I love my meats, but from time to time, I just love to dabble in vegetarian food, you know. Bottom line is, I just like food. Ethiopia offers that. Another reason to love the country. So yeah, I did mention that it is very vegetarian friendly, but this is really because most Ethiopians follow a particular belief of Orthodox Christianity that prohibits the eating of any animal products on Wednesdays and Fridays. So of course, to compensate for that, the food has to be non-animal based. So moving on now to fact number 4, Ethiopia is a country that is full of vibrant, colorful festivals. Now, the biggest festival over in Ethiopia is called Timkat. Now, this is an annual festival that honors the baptism of Jesus Christ in the Jordan River. Now, today, priests, they move the replicas of the Ark of the Covenant from each church, and they go and march to the nearest large body of water, and that's where a communal baptism actually happens. There's a lot of videos and pictures of this. It's a really remarkable experience. Next, I want to talk a little bit about the capital city, Addis Ababa. Now, Addis Ababa is the home of the African Union. It's also the headquarters of the United Nations Economic Commissions for Africa, and also it sits at an altitude of 2,450 meters, and it's the world's 4th highest capital city. Now, the name Addis Ababa, beautiful name, and you see it translates to new flower in the Amharic language. Did you also know that the people of Ethiopia often point out that Ethiopia is not the original name for the country? Ethiopia is actually a relatively new name for the region. Now, the name Abyssinia was the former name for the region, and that name was said to come from the Amharic word Habash, or also the Arabic word Habash, meaning mixture. And this is all in reference to the different races that lived in the region. And the final fact I want to share in this episode about Ethiopia is that Ethiopia has the 2nd most UNESCO World Heritage Sites in all of Africa. The 9 sites are Aksa, Fasil Gebi, Harar Jugal, Konso Cultural Landscape, Lower Valley of the Awash, Lower Valley of the Omo, rock-hewn churches, Simien National Park, as well as Tia. And just like that, we come to the end of this episode. This was a brief look at 10 surprising and interesting facts about Ethiopia. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one and learned something new. I know this is a very fascinating country, a lot of history and culture in there. Like, I didn't even scratch the surface yet. So if you enjoyed it, let me know down below, as well as any thoughts and comments below. And if you guys really want, I'll do my best to produce a part 2 of this episode as soon as possible. My social media links are below in the video description section, so you can definitely follow me over there. And also, I'll leave you with a recommended episode that's going to be at the end screen, so tap that once you see it. I'm going to get out of here, guys, so enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon.